What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome back to another episode of the Crystal Palace Survival Career Mode. Guys, this is going to be episode 2 of this new series that I've started. And if you did miss the first episode of this series and you don't really know what's going on, this is a survival career mode, and I will leave a link in the description down below to the first episode. That explains everything, what this series is about and what we're trying to achieve with this series. We have made our own virtual league with 6 other YouTubers. Our main aim is to survive, obviously, in this career mode, and to do that we need to get results, but we're only allowed to do it by simming matches. But whilst we're at it, it's probably best to look at what games we have to play in today's episode, what we're going to be facing, the challenges that we are going to be facing in this episode. What I will do before we take a little look at the games that we're going to be playing in today's episode, though, is showing you guys the league table. If you did miss it in the last episode, we're currently sitting in 2nd place, so we're doing really well so far. The pressure is sort of off, but we still need to be picking up results. We're going to be having a game against Leicester at home. That is a must-win game in my opinion. That could be a very vital 3 points that we could pick up in that match. Hull City away from home, that could be a bit of a difficult one, but I'm hoping we can still get a good result in that one. Then we have Chelsea at home. That could be a bit of an issue, to be honest, because Chelsea, even though we are at home, we've got more of a chance of winning. They certainly have a very strong side. And then we've got another away match, so it seems like we're getting a lot more away matches, and this one's going to be against West Bromwich Albion. Again, that's another match that we should be winning more likely than not if we want to keep our position in the league table. And then we also have a game against Sunderland in the Premier League. This one's going to be the final match of the episode. Hopefully we can get a win in this one as well. These cup matches, however, don't really count for anything, so I'm putting up a very weak side. In fact, I'm putting up all the reserve players that aren't going to be getting into the first team, and as you can see there, we end up getting knocked out of the Capital One Cup 2-0. Not really the best start then, losing that game in the Capital One Cup, but now we have a game against Leicester, and we do need to be picking our strong side for this. And we are going to go ahead and sim this first match against Leicester City now, see what result we get. I'm really hopeful that we're going to get a win. We need a win. We need the 3 points because it's a home match. It's against a side such as Leicester. They don't exactly have the best players, and hopefully I don't jinx that. But Balassi does get the first goal of the game, makes it 1-0 there in the 8th minute, and that is good to see. I really wish I'd gone in for more players though, such as MLS players. Everyone else seemed to go in for the MLS players. Pirlo, Lampard, you name it. All of those players that are so high rated. Why did I not think to go for them? I just don't know. It would have certainly shored up my midfield had I have done that. But we do end up getting a 1-0 win here against Leicester, and Balassi is the guy that gets the goal. Mavuba unfortunately did get sent off with a second bookable offence, and that will be a bit of a blow for the next match. As Mavuba is suspended for this next match against Hull, I'm going to be putting Martin Kelly in the CDM position just because he probably can play there. He's tall enough, he's got really good well-rounded stats, and I think he'd probably suit that position a little bit more than any of these other low-rated players. And let us go ahead and sim this one against Hull City. We are away from home. I'm pretty sure they're going to be playing 5 at the back, and I believe that they were playing 5 at the back. Will we get the win? I'm hopeful that we will because, I mean, Hull City are good. They take the lead there, and that really isn't that good, is it? And then Dennis scores a penalty, and he really is proving to be a vital part of the team at the moment. MacArthur comes on for Jedinak. Is anything else going to happen, or is it going to be a 1-1 draw? I reckon it's going to be a draw here, unless something happens late on. And yes, Martin Kelly at CDM, and he manages to get the goal in the 89th minute, and we get the 3 points. I'm just lucky that a lot of our first team players aren't tired. We can just go with the same lineup for this game against Chelsea. And hopefully, maybe, I'd say a maximum we get a draw from this match. But if we get anything more than that, then of course that would be absolutely fantastic. And it seems like so far we don't need these MLS players that everyone else has been signing, because these players have done so well, like Crystal Palace have done in real life. They have really shown their worth, and these players are turning out to be a lot better than I thought they would. And it's 40 minutes in so far, nothing has happened. Is this going to be a stale 0-0 draw? It looks like it might be, unless something's going to happen later on. Maybe Chelsea will go attacking. I reckon they're going to want to get the win, but are we going to get a draw with Chelsea? Yes, we are, and that is another brilliant result. I really didn't expect that, and that really is a good result to be getting against Chelsea. But now we have the 4th game here against West Bromwich Albion, the team that seems to be absolutely brilliant so far. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I say. You know, if the team's working out well, there is no reason whatsoever to change it. And we will go with the same lineup here. Same players. Balassi, of course, our captain. And he will be captaining us for this match. And we don't really get off to a good start here against West Brom. We concede there in the 5th minute. And it's Brunt that gets the goal. But there we go. It's Dennis, the main man again. Dennis the Menace getting the goal. And leveling it up there to make it 1-1. And then they make it 2-1. Wow, are you kidding me? We're able to beat Hull. Surely we're able to beat West Bromwich Albion. Or at least get a draw. Can we at least salvage a point? Please? Are we going to get a loss? Yes, we are. We lose to West Bromwich Albion. A bit disappointing, sorry, to be honest. Because I would have expected a little bit more from them. Considering we got a draw against Chelsea, to lose against West Bromwich Albion, I know it's away from home, but there you go. Even the Crystal Palace board is saying that we should be winning that match. We haven't really got too much growth in the squad, but it's good to see that a lot of our core players, or some of our core players anyway, 2 of them, Martin Kelly and Wilfred Zaha, have both gone up to 75 and 76 overall respectively. And now we have the 5th and final game of this episode. It's going to be against Sunderland. And we picked up 7 points, I believe, from these 4 games so far. So make it another 3 and make it 10 in 5 games. That would be a really good result. We got a draw against Chelsea. We unfortunately lost to West Bromwich Albion in that match. And I'm hopeful that we can bounce back here against a very strong Sunderland side who are currently 8th. They've got some good players in there, especially when simulating. Got to be worried about Jermaine Defoe because he is a pretty decent overall. He's 80 overall, in fact, and I'm just hopeful that we can get a win. That, of course, is the ideal result, as with all of these matches, in fact. We just got to be going for the win, and it's Zaha that gets the first goal of the game there. Makes it 1-0 in the 30th minute. And then Martin Kelly, the CDM god, makes it 2-0 in the 55th minute, and it looks like we are going to be going to get a win in this match. Defoe. Oh my god, he scored and then he missed a penalty a minute later. Thank goodness he didn't equalise. And we end up getting a 2-1 result against Sunderland. We have really been on fire in this episode. 10 points from 5 games. We have really done well. We got a draw against Chelsea, and the results that I thought were going to be a bit difficult ended up being pretty good. But now we are going to be jumping into the Skype call with all the other YouTubers, and we are going to be finding out who's going to be the first to be eliminated from this series that we are doing. And to be honest, from the last episode, from the first episode's table, it seems to be that it's between B- and Rich, but we'll have to wait and see what happens, and let us jump into the Skype call right now.
We'll move on to the actual table after 10 matches. I've got the points right here. Right. And I'll start from the top and go to the bottom. In first place, not a big surprise, it's going to be Newcastle. With 25 points.
Jesus Christ!
After 10 matches.
You guys,
8 wins,
got
1
more
draw.
points in your next episode? Are you kidding me, Tim?
Yeah, 8 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. 18 goals for, 9 goals against. That's a 7-goal differential. Absolutely ridiculous for a simulated match, but hey, you know, props to Tim. He's really done some work in this series thus far.
Mourinho.
It's early. In second place, though, really not too much changing from the first episode. It's Jay Yakers with Crystal Palace, 19 points. Good stuff for him. He does have 6 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. But in third place, we got T-Ray with 13 points.
I have the most draws out of anyone, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was so shocked to see Tyler has 7 draws.
Yeah. I didn't
2
lose
wins.
a single game in
Two
my
wins.
last episode.
2 wins. I will say that's tied for the least amount of wins.
In my last episode, I beat Arsenal and drew my other 4 games. So, yeah.
That's 7 glorious points, man.
Yeah.
In fourth place, a bit of a shocker here. We've got B-Monis.
Oh!
Ooh,
Survive.
I'm
Creeping up the table.
boys.
He's got 12 points, just completely changing the tide. He's got 10 points in this episode alone. And in the 5th place position, we've got Guardy FIFA.
Oh!
Thank you. When you said that Tyler was tied for the lowest amount of wins and you said 2, and I'm like, shit, that's me. Like, I'm the other person with 2. I got so scared for a second.
We currently have 4 people with only 2 wins. And that brings us down to the last 2. It's between myself with Burnley and Rich with Leicester City. Probably the 2 teams that had the least expectations going into this series.
So he was eliminated.
Rich, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Oh, Rich, he was so confident.
Props to Rich getting a good amount of points in this episode with a Leicester City team. and really making me sweat there as I was creating this table.
My goal difference was still terrible, though.
Rich, what do you think the highlight of this career mode was for you? I'm gonna end this on a positive note.
As I started the second episode, I won away at Crystal Palace, which I was expecting to lose, so that was a good moment for me. I thought, right, I'm playing Burnley next, I could win this. And then Danny Ings scored in the 90th minute to win it for Burnley. I was like, oh no, this is not going well now.
Okay, so just a quick clarification. Now that we have our first eliminated contestant, we're going to be resetting the points just to make the series a little bit more even. Obviously, if we were just to continue, I think we all know who the winner would be. I'm going to give the mic over to Rich now, let him have his time before he leaves.
Basically, I'd just like to congratulate everyone on not getting Leicester City. So, well done, everyone.
Well, guys, that's going to bring a wrap to this episode of the Survival Career Mode. We're going to have episode 3 out as soon as we can for you guys, so stay tuned for that and get excited, get hyped. But with that, we're all going to say goodbye, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Rich.
Bye.
That was like the saddest bye I've ever heard.
I got eliminated, so you know.